This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Delmarva Acupuncture and Wellness Center.
Living with pain, it's not just physical, it affects you emotionally as well. It can lead to anxiety, depression, even damaged relationships if you've been there before. In short, pain can ruin your life.
Yeah, and a Denton man knows that firsthand. Peripheral neuropathy caused by diabetes left him with pain and debilitating numbness in his feet and legs. There was nothing he could do, or at least that's what he was told. Then, in February, he sat down to watch Delmarva Life. Little did he know, at the time, his life and his outlook on it was about to change for the better.
I was in a head-on collision, and I was never supposed to walk again.
It was this appearance on Delmarva Life by Dr. Ashley Adams of Delmarva Acupuncture that set into motion a profound change in Dennis Hall's life.
And she was talking about her situation, how she realized there was a correlation between the nerve damage and what she had gone through in her accident.
Dennis has been living with peripheral neuropathy and diabetic nerve pain for nearly 2 decades.
We've always been told there's nothing you could do.
But there was something that could be done. After some initial tests, Dr. Adams had a plan.
She sat down and explained to me what the journey was going to be like, about how long it was going to take, what would need to be done.
Dennis's pain was accompanied with the feeling of pins and needles from his knees down. His previous doctor prescribed a pain medication that he said didn't touch the pain underneath the arch of his foot. He says during the very first acupuncture session, that pain was gone.
And about 20 minutes into the session, I'm just sitting in the room, the lights are out, the rain machine's playing, and all of a sudden, normally I'm like moving my foot like this to try to distract my foot from the pain that it's in.
Dr. Adams says she's thankful she was able to intervene with Dennis's condition before it got worse.
And as the nerves progressively get worse, right around 50% loss is where we start seeing really balance issues. And that's where the big concern comes in for me, because when we have balance issues, now we have falls. And people's life become very altered because now I'm too scared to go do this, or I'm too scared to go do that.
It's the loss of quality of life that concerns Dr. Adams the most.
They have this neuropathy, but now they also have this sense of not having their livelihood, which is very concerning for me. And then at some point, they even start losing their ability to drive because they can't feel their feet. They become so numb. And a lot of people are like, how can I be numb?
She says the most important visit is the first one because no 2 patients are the same.
Absolutely. So it's always about individualized treatments, okay? And so when the person comes in, I ask them a series of questions, and of course those questions change based on the individual because, again, it is individual person. And then I'll send in one of my staff to do a test. It's called a Toronto test, but this test actually goes through and sees how far gone are the nerves.
Based on Dennis's results, Dr. Adams and her staff knew acupuncture would work. In fact, she had to convince him it was real.
Oh, absolutely. He was like, this is not real. It's all in my head, So, and you know what? I hear that so often that it just kind of makes me chuckle on the inside. And I can pretty much tell you by treatment 3 what they're going to say. Right? I already know. I've been doing it for so long that it's like, okay, they'll come in and they'll be like, I don't know if this is working, but I kind of feel different, but I really don't know how to put it into words.
The treatments made such an impact on Dennis's life, he chronicled his journey in a video diary.
I feel right now like a new person, and I still have another 16 weeks to go.
And he has a specific goal in mind.
Get my life back. I want to feel the Ocean City water on my feet again. So I was down there last year when the water rolled over. I couldn't feel it until it went above my ankles. Mm-hmm. It just felt like something had touched my foot, but I couldn't tell what it was. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to feel it.
Something Dr. Adams is confident will happen. She just wished it could have happened sooner.
And it's a shame that I'm the last resort. Like, they've went through so many things. They're on so many medications, and they're not getting better. And nobody says, hey, go try acupuncture. Because people think acupuncture is this I don't know, foreign thing where we use giant needles, and that's so not the case. These little tiny needles can do such a big difference.
A difference that gave Dennis a new lease on life. Dennis said he has stopped taking his pain medication. Dr. Adams said she never recommends patients to stop taking medication without consulting their doctor, but it was a decision he made on his own. Also, if you are concerned about having needles put in your skin, I can tell you firsthand, it doesn't hurt. Take a look. Dr. Adams wanted me to feel for myself, and really, you don't feel anything. Those needles are so tiny.
You didn't feel anything?
I didn't really feel anything. I think you feel something, but it's not pain.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is an amazing story.